I started coming here about 2.5 years ago. I actually did a trial class, and I remember Rachel was the instructor and the trainer that day, and I was really nervous also, but I made it through, and I went home that night, and I was like, "Damn, that was really cool. I really enjoyed that." And the next day I woke up and I was like this, oh my God. I really had a hard time walking. Where people were like, what happened? I'm like, oh, I went to this place, Marino's, and I loved it, but I was excited because I thought, oh my gosh, there's muscles I didn't even know I had or even existed. I thought this would be a really good thing for me. It had been a really long time, obviously, since I had been in a gym. So I came back and I really took a good look at the crowd. And the diversity of the crowd really appealed to me because there was all ages, all body types, all body shapes. I would not be comfortable in a gym that everybody was like size 0 and cookie cutter gym rat. I just got a really good feel for the people. I've also made really good friends here, and that's important to me. So I started the classes 3 times a week. I loved them immediately too. I love the energy. I love the challenge every day coming here. I kind of got nervous for quite a long time before I would come because I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to do this? I had a hard time following directions at times. And I know that's another thing. Rachel, I was 3 times Wendy. And she's like, all right, after the 3rd time, you're going to get it. I'm like, because I had to get used to not just being on a treadmill or just doing something over and over again. I'm like, I had to mentally think, am I really using my body right? Am I getting everything out of the exercise? So I thought that was important too because, listen, I am getting older and I think I have to use my brain also. So I was getting kind of 2 for 1. Which I liked. I saw a difference in my body, started toning up, and I was able to maintain the weight at that time. Well, that was 2 years, and I guess that took me to this past summer. Well, I don't work in the summer, so I work for the school district, so I'm off, and I love junk food. I still do, I'm sorry to admit, and I like my wine. So I had a lot of fun, sat by the pool, and I wasn't coming here regularly. Like I was sporadic, I'd go on vacation and just extend it for another week or 2. And by the end of the summer, I had gained a good 10 pounds. And it was like, you gain a few pounds, but this was just a fat 10 pounds. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am just disgusted with myself. But I thought, oh well, I'd always been able to gain some weight and then just really start heavy exercise and go on a low-calorie diet. So I thought, I'll regroup myself back to school. So I did. I started definitely coming back here, put myself on a low-calorie diet, and after a couple weeks, nothing was moving. My clothes, I could either not wear them or they were really tight. And it was time for me to go see my doctor for my physical. So I completely whined to her. I'm like, oh my gosh, look what I've done. I can't lose any weight, and I'm not healthy anymore. And she said, well, Wendy, you're menopausal. And she said, your metabolism is definitely going to slow down. It happens in your 50s, and you're going to have to accept that. You're too hard on yourself. Just sort of be happy with where you are. And I left, and I thought, no, I cannot be happy, feeling so unhealthy. I've never been real little, and I was never a real tiny teenager. I was always pretty much had the same body type. So I wasn't looking to be this tiny little thing, but I wanted to feel better than I did. So the next day I came and I actually spoke to Chris. And I asked him, I said, my doctor said my metabolism is definitely, is there any truth to this? He said, yes. When you get older, especially for women, you do have menopause, your metabolism, can slow down. But he's like, you can counter that, you can fight that. So I had a ray of hope. He said, you should talk to Rachel about having her develop a customized diet for you. And also, have you ever thought, because I was still doing the classes, about jumping over to, I say, the other side. That's what we call it. It's like the semi-private. I thought, So I talked to Rachel, and she said she would develop a diet for me. And then she also agreed that I would benefit from the semi-private training. So I agreed to both. And so I met with, so then I was told I had to get an assessment. And so once again, at work all day, I'm nervous. I'm like, what do you mean assessment? He's like, Chris is going to be making me do 100 sit-ups in 30 seconds and run 10 miles, and I'm going to fail. And no, he looked at my body and figured out how flexible I was, how my joints moved. And he actually was looking at my shoulder and he said, your shoulder isn't right. And I said, I know, I've been to an orthopedic, I've been to a doctor, and I've been in pain for years, but they told me you're pretty much going to live with it. So he modified all my programs so we wouldn't re-injure it, and we would strengthen it slowly And now, on a side note, it's been 5 months, I don't have any pain. So that was the biggest bonus, because I wasn't expecting that. The other day, he asked me, he's like, how's your shoulder? I said, it's perfectly fine, there's no pain. So that was just a complete, like I said, a bonus. So anyway, so I got, like you, I got the diet from Rachel, and I was like, no. No, like, where's my junk food?
Where's the
wine?
wine?
Yeah, that was the big one. And I actually was going to come back the next day and say, I'll do the exercise, but I'm not doing the diet. But then I saw Rachel and I got scared. I love her, but I got scared. I was like, because I thought, how can I sit there and whine and be like, oh, look at me, and then she's giving me the tools to feel better about myself, and I say no. So I obviously came and said, okay, sure, I'm on board. And I started the diet, and the one thing I will say is I did cheat, because, of course, I mean, I cheated. You're allowed to cheat. I mean, you're supposed to cheat. Because the first week maybe I didn't, and Rachel, I said, oh, Rachel, I didn't cheat this week. She said, you should, because that's real life, and that's what was really important for me to learn, that you could do. She goes like the 80-20, be good 80% of the time, bad 20, and I'm definitely bad that 20, because I said I feel like at my age, like I don't have any kids at home anymore. I'm enjoying life. We go out to dinner a lot. We're real social. My crowd's all pretty much the same boat. If I had to completely be good all the time, I would never stop to it. No way. So that's one thing I want to put out there. Like I said, you can still enjoy your pizza, and I like my wings and whatever, horrible things, but then I'm so good when I'm good. So anyway, so I started the diet, and it was easier than I thought. Like you, I had a hard time eating so much protein and stuff. It was weird to be on a diet and be full. Like I was so low calorie, it was weird to adjust to think that, oh, you can actually lose weight and not be hungry. So anyway, so I started the diet, and then I started the semi-private, and I loved it. I loved the semi-private the first day. I like the fact that the program is made for my body, for my strength level. Well, and like there's no competition. Like could be a woman lifting 1,000 pounds over here. I could be lifting 10, but you don't care, because you're like, this is what I can accomplish today. And you can see it on your chart, your weights and how you progress, and you can see how many reps you do. And the thing I love about here, there's so many different trainers, and I love them all. And you work with different trainers, and each of them has obviously the different personality, brings something to the table, different to the table. So they challenge you in different ways. So every day I'm doing a different program, I'm working with somebody different. So it's exciting every day. I'm never bored, and I definitely get bored easily. And so I was like, every day I leave, I'm thinking, oh, I wonder what I'm going to do, tomorrow or the next day. And so that's, I think, a real big bonus here also, is having the different programs and the different trainers. So as soon as I started the combination, my weight definitely, and I am a scale watcher. I'm working on that. I'm working on it. But at first, it's like, oh, nothing's happening. And Rachel told me, get a pair of pants. I was going on vacation with my 20-year-old daughter, who's an athlete and has like zero body fat. So I also wanted to try to like feel decent on my vacation. So I got a pair of white jeans I definitely couldn't wear. So I used those instead of the scale, and that was a big help for me. So I'm like, when the scale wasn't moving, I put the pants on. I'm like, okay. But then the weight did start coming off, and I did see a change in my body, and I immediately had more energy. I immediately started sleeping better. I felt mentally like just crisper, like I clear, like I had clarity. And I did this, I guess it's been for 5 months now, and I love it. Like I said, I can't imagine ever not doing it anymore. Like I think it's going to be a lifelong thing for me. Like when I lift the weights, I feel sounds silly, but I feel like empowered. I'm like, oh my God, who would think like I would be like doing this? Like sometimes I just think this is so not me, but now it's become me, and I'm really excited about it. Oh my God, I felt no, tissues. But I've but I've lost like 13 pounds, and my body fat's down over 6%, and I've lost 13 pounds a while ago, but I'm maintaining it, which for me is good, because I said I would go up and down, and I'm actually, for once in my life, like comfortable with myself, which is big for me. I'm down 2 dress sizes. So anyway, it's really has worked for me, and as I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing how much further I can go with this, and I'm hoping to get stronger. I'm going to get more toned, and that's about it. But I guess the only reason I said I would do this because I had anxiety about this for like 3 weeks. I mean, total anxiety. Yeah, is that I just wanted to convey that if I can do this, anybody can do this. So.